Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nichalatatvam, nichalatatve jivanmuktihi, punarapi jananam, punarapi marana, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे.
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. In this 13th chapter, the second shloka we have taken up. So before that, we will chant the two shlokas. One is the Bhagavad Gita Bhagavad Bhashya, the shloka. Narayana Parovitta Dandam Abhyakta Sambhavam Andasyantas Krime Lokaha Saptadvipacha Medini. And the 13th chapter, first shloka, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetravit Abhidiyate Etadyo Vekti Tamprahu Kshetragneti Tadvidaha. So that is the first shloka. There, the knower consciousness has been separately stated as the Kshetrajna, and the object, inert part, that is the observed, that has been stated as the Kshetram. And here in this shloka, only the body-mind complex has been stated as the Kshetram. But in the sequel, the entire universe will be included in the term Kshetra, that is the observed. And in the second shloka, it was stated by Bhagavan that the knower consciousness in every body is not different from Brahman. That Mahavakya Artha, that is the Aikyam, Jiva Brahma Aikyam, has been stated by Bhagavan. And when that was stated, so many problems have been raised, questions have been raised as to how can Brahman be the Jiva and all that, or how can Jiva be the Brahman? And the questions have been replied by the Vedantin in an appropriate manner. So the latest part that we have seen in the last class, we will just see that and then go to the portion that we have to take up today. Avidyavatvat kshetragnasya samsaritvam iti ched na avidyayaha tamasatvat. The latest objection is that the kshetrajna, that is the knowing consciousness, itself is tainted by avidya. So avidya is there in the kshetrajna itself, himself, and because of that only there is samsaritvam for the kshetrajna. That when that such an objection is raised, the Vedantin says, no, that is not the case. Avidyayaha tamasatvat. Avidya is of the nature of darkness or of the nature of enveloping. The idea here is that the kshetrajna is always of the nature of consciousness and is of the nature of light. That is the light of spiritual light. That is the light of consciousness. Whereas avidya is of the nature of darkness, and that is the one which envelops and causes hindrance to know something. So this is the main reason why avidya has been separated and the consciousness has been separated from avidya and shown as pure consciousness, which is of the nature of light only, whereas in contrast, avidya is of the nature of darkness. Tamaso hi pratyayaha avanatmakatvat avidya viparita grahakaha samshayopasthapako va agrahanatmako va viveka prakasha bhave Amasecha avarnatmake timiradi doshe sati agrahanadehe avidyatrayasya upalabdhehe. So here Bhagavad is enumerating the three expressions in which the avidya, the basic avidya, gives manifestation to itself. So avidya is of the nature of avarna, that is, it causes enveloping, and that enveloping can result in these three kinds of effects. One is viparita grahaka, that is wrong cognition, that is taking the rope to be the snake. Then samshayopasthapakova, that is doubtful cognition, that is taking the, for example, the pillar to be a human or a human to be the pillar. So whether it's a pillar or the human, so that doubt is there. That is called samshaya. Whereas if he takes the pillar to be the human and concludes that in such a way, it will be coming in the category of viparita grahana. Whereas samshaya, he is not clear as to whether it is this or that, whether it's A or B. So that situation is called samshaya. That is also because of the reason that he doesn't know what it is really. So that is one more second type of expression or manifestation of avidya. Then the third one is agrahanatmaka, not knowing that at all, totally. So not knowing that there is a rope at all or not, that is called agrahanam. And in such a case, there won't be doubt, nor will be the viparita graha. But then there is a basic thing that he doesn't know what is there in front. So this is the third type of manifestation of avidya. Third manifestation of avidya. So viveka prakasha bhave tadabhavat tamase cha avarnatmake timiradi doshe sati avidyatrayasya upalabdhehe. So what he says is viveka prakasha bhave tadabhavat. When there is the light of discrimination, that is, the person is able to clearly see what the situation there, then any of these three expressions of avidya will not be there because he knows the thing there really correctly. So viveka prakasha bhave tadabhavat tamase cha avarnatmake timiradi doshe sati agrahanadehe avidyatrayasya upalabdhehe. So when there is this tamasic, that is the darkness of enveloping avidya, timiradi doshe sati. So he is giving an example for that. Timira is a situation in the eyesight. So it can be situated to be cataract or glaucoma or some other thing. So when that kind of, therefore he has given adi. So there can be several types of defects to the eye. When such is the case, then agrahanadehe avidyatrayasya upalabdhehe. Then what happens? He is not able to see the objects clearly, or he gets wrong cognition, or there can be doubtful cognition and all that. So he is now giving the example of how a person who is afflicted by some or the other disease of the eye can experience any of these situations. So what is basically taken up is the avidya, that is the basic avidya, the avidya about the Atman, and that is the avarnam regarding the Atman. And when that is present, then it can be a wrong cognition, that is taking the Atman to be the body and all that, or samshaya. And the doubtful cognition also is the result of that only, whether the body-mind complex is sentient or not. So whether it is Atman or not, that kind of doubt can be there. Agrahanatma is not knowing the object in front at all. That is the not knowing the Atman at all. So avarna results in viparita grahana or samshaya grahana or agrahana. So these are the three ways in which avidya can manifest itself. Now the next question takes up, that Bhagavad Gita is taking up is atra aha evam tarhi jnata dharmaha avidya. So if such is the case, then let us conclude that the jnata, that is the kshetrajna, his property, that is his attribute or nature, is this avidya. So this avidya cannot be distinguished or cannot be alienated from this jnata, that is this kshetrajna. So why not we take this such is the case? For that, the Vedanta replies, no, such a proposition cannot be accepted. Karane chakshushi taimirikatvadi doshopalabdhehe. So what he gives a concise answer that the whatever dosha can be there, that can be there only in the instrument, not in the person who uses the instrument. So the defect pertains to the instrument alone. And for that, the best example is that the eye, for example, has this defect, and as a result of that, he suffers certain things. But then there also, when the eye is repaired or it is rectified because of some due to some surgery or some other medical application, then the defect goes and then he regains his sight. So that is the example he gives. So karana is instrument. Chakshushi. So he is giving that example also for that. The instrument, for example, the eye, Taimirikatvadi dosha uplabdhehe. There only, in the eyes only, we see that there are certain defects like timira. Timira is, as I said, it can be glaucoma or cataract or whatever. So such kind of defects can be there, are seen only in the eye and not in the person. So the person is having this eye as his instrument, and when the instrument is faulty, how can you fault the person who is the user of the instrument? So yattu manyase jnata dharmaha avidya tadeva cha avidya dharmavatvam kshetrajnasya samsaritvam tatra yaduktam ishvaraha eva kshetrajnaha na samsari tetate ayuktamiti tatna. So now he is recalling what objections he had made, the opponent had made on this. Jnata dharmaha avidya, that is, avidya is the property or the attribute of the jnata, that is the kshetrajna himself, that is the jiva himself. So jiva himself is afflicted by avidya. That is the proposition made by the opponent. Tadevacha avidya dharmavatvam kshetrajnasya samsaritvam. Because the jiva is afflicted by this avidya, he is in samsara. Tatra yaduktam ishvaraha eva sarvajnah kshetrajnaha na samsari ityetat ayuktamiti. Then what was stated as ishvaraha eva kshetrajnaha, that is kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi, that is Brahman is the kshetrajna, that is the knowing consciousness in every body is non-different from Brahman. That proposition is also now taken up for objection. Na samsari. So Ishvaraha eva kshetrajnaha na samsari. So Ishvara alone is kshetrajna and not the samsari. So samsari cannot be taken to be the kshetrajna, but Ishvara is the kshetrajna. Ityetat ayuktamiti tatenna. So this kind of objections cannot stand scrutiny. So Ishvaraha eva kshetrajnaha na samsari ityetat ayuktamiti tatana. So let us hold that the Ishvara alone is kshetrajna, but samsari cannot be the kshetrajna. So that kind of objections, all these objections will not stand scrutiny and they will be demolished by the Vedanta. Yatha karne chakshushi viparita grahakadi doshasya darshanat. Because we see these defects of wrong cognition or doubtful cognition or non-cognition, etc. in the eye only, in the instrument, that is the eye only. So, na viparitati grahanam tan nimittam va taimirikatvadi doshaha grahituhu. So, he says, na viparitati grahanam, that is the defect of not cognizing properly, not non-cognition, wrong cognition and doubtful cognition. These are the defects, these defects. Tan nimittam va taimirikatvadi doshaha grahituhu. So, these defects or the cause of the defect of these defects can be stated to be the property of the knower there. So the knower is the jiva. He has the body-mind complex and he has the eyes also. And with the eyes only he is seeing. And if the eye is afflicted by any of these diseases, then he suffers the consequences of not seeing properly or wrong, taking wrong cognition and all that. So this is how we experience in the world. So when the eye is repaired by medication or surgery and all that, that's what he says in further. Chakshushaha samskarena imide apanite grahituhu adarshanat na grahitu dharmaha yatha. So now chakshushaha samskarena. So when the medication is applied on the eye instrument, then timire apanite. Timira is the disease. So the disease, if it is removed, then or the disease is cured, timire apanite grahituhu adarshanate. So it is no longer seen to be the part of the knower. So now from this we can easily conclude that the repair was done only in the eye, but not in the knower. So this very clearly shows that the defect is in the eye only and not in the person. So adarshanate grahitu dharmaha na yatha tatha. So now he is coming to the exemplified, that is darshantikam. Tatha sarvatraiva agrahana viparita samshaya pratyaha tannimittaha Karanasyeva kasyachit bhavitumahati na jnatuhu kshetrajnasya. So, in the case of the jivas, all the jivas in the whole creation, sarvatraiva agrahana viparita samshaya. So, the defects of non-cognition, wrong cognition, and doubtful cognition, these are pratyaya. These are all pertaining to the mind only, to the instrument called mind only. Tannimittaha karanasyeva kasyachite bhavitum. The cause of these three also can be seen to be only in the instrument, that is the mind, not in the some mind. He doesn't name the instrument as mind. Kasyachit karanasya. Whatever it is, it has to be only attributed to the to some instrument only, but not to the jiva or the atma. Bhavitumarhanti na jnatuhu kshetrajnasya. They cannot be said to be the property of the jnata, that is the atman, that is the kshetrajna. So the atman is ever free from any of the defects, but the defects can be stated to be only with reference to the instrument, that is the mind. Then tatha sarvatraiva agrahana. Okay, natu kshetrajnasya. Samvedyatvacha, he is giving the reason, further reason. Samvedyatvacha tesham pradipa prakashavate na jnatu dharmatvam. So he says, the Vedantin says that the defects are actually objectified. They are not of the subject, but then the subject objectifies these defects. Like for example, when I am exposed to the Shastram, I come to know that okay, now there is a defect called agrahanam. I am not able to clearly perceive the Atman, and I am not able to. I am taking the Atman wrongly to be the body. So these defects, a person when he is exposed to the Shastra can easily be seen by that person himself to be belonging to the category of the observed, but not the observer. So because he is able to observe these defects, so definitely he cannot be stated to be the one who is afflicted of the defects, by the defects. Just as in the case of the defect in the eye, the person who is the one who has the eyes, he clearly knows that, okay, this eye is having some problems, and then let me go to a person who is a specialist in this, and then they get it cured. So the curing happens to the but not to the person. So in the same way here also, the avidya and all that are there only in the instrument called the mind, but not in the Atman, who is the owner of the mind, or who is the one who is associating himself with the mind as one of his instruments. Yatthata sarvatraiva agrahana prita samshaya pratyaha tannimittaha karanasyeva kasyachit bhavitum arhanti na jnatu kshetrajnasya. Then samvedyatvacha tesham pradipa prakashavate. So just like, okay, now he is giving a beautiful example also for that. There is a light, there is a lamp. Without the lamp, we cannot see things there at all. But then we use the lamp in order to get clarity about the objects that we are trying to see. But then the user of the lamp is different from the lamp itself, and the lamp is only something which is aiding his perception. He is perceiving the things, cognizing things. So in the same way, the mind is an object, and the mind is an object which is required for getting clarity about things and all that. But then the mind itself is not the ultimate. So there is a person who is the user of the mind, or who is mind, or who has the mind. So in that way, he is able to clearly objectify the mind and see that these defects are in the mind only. So in the same way, this light, for example, lamp, for example, is something which is objectified and not the person. So the person is not the one who is objectified, but then the person is the subject who is objectifying the lamp, and with the aid of the lamp, he is able to see things. So in the same way, the avidya, etc., are not the property of the jnata, that is the knower, because these avidya, etc., are objectified, or they are all observed. Jnata dharmatvam. Samvedyatvad swatma vyatirikta samvedyatvam. So just because they are only objectified, and they are definitely distinct from the one who is the subject. So the subject is ever different from the object. So the whatever is in the context in the category of object, this will not affect the subject, who is the one who is perceiving the object. So then, Sarvakarana Vishaye Viyoge Na Kaivalye Sarvavadivihi Avidyadi Doshavatva Anabhyapagamat. Now he is giving a very bold statement. All doctrines, whether it is not just Vedanta, all other doctrines like Sankhya, Yoga, and all of them who are there to specify what is moksha and what are the means for moksha, even they have accepted that in Kaivalya, that is in Mukti, when there are no instruments at all, that is the body-mind complex is the instrument. That body-mind complex is not there in Mukti, in the state of Mukti. So this has been admitted by all the Vadis. Vadins are all these schools, other schools, other than Vedanta. Vadivihi, Avidyadi Doshavatva Anabhipagamat. So there they have also they have also not accepted that the Avidyadi Dosha, etc., will continue to be there in the state of Mukti. So then what happens? In Mukti, the Jiva is there as the Mukta, and he is free from the body-mind complex, and he is free from the Avidyadi Dosha also. What that can also taken as an inference for claiming that, or for settling, or to determine that the Jiva or the Atman who is persisting in the Mukti, he is free from Avidya, etc., and he is also free from the body-mind complex. Or to put it in another way, the Jiva who is the Atman who is persisting in Mukti is free from the body-mind complex, and therefore also free from the doshas called Avidya, etc. So then what this clarifies to us is that the Avidya, etc., doshas can be there only for the body-mind complex or the mind only, but not for the Atman. Because these things don't persist in the Mukti at all, but the Atman persists in the state of Mukti. So this is also one more reason he gives to show that the Avidya, etc., cannot be stated to be the attributes or the property of the Atman. Atmanaha yadi kshetragnasya agnishnevate swaha dharmaha tataha adachidapi tena viyogaha syat. If on the other hand we accept that the Avidya, etc., are pertaining to the Atman, just like the property of heat being the very inalienable property of the fire. If we are going to accept that the Avidya, etc., are the inalienable property of the Atman, then the Atman can never be free from samsara at all, because the cause of samsara, that the Avidya, is inalienably part of the Atman. So this also shows that the Avidya cannot be accepted to be the property of the Atman. Avikriyasya cha vyomavate sarvagatasya amurtasya atmanaha kenachit sanyoga viyoga anupapattehe siddham kshetragnasya nityameva ishwaratvam anaditva nirgunatvat ityadi ishwaravachanacha. So he is now concluding this part of the discussion. Avikriyasya cha vyomavate sarvagatasya amurtasya atmanaha. So he is giving several epithets to the Atman. So Atman is avikriya, that is, there is no vikara at all, there is no action at all, there is no transformation at all happening in the Atman. That is one. Then vyomavate sarvagatam. So vyomavat, just like space or ether, it is all pervading. So the Atman is all pervading. Then, so that is number two attribute. The first one is it is nirvikari. Second one is it is sarvavyapi. The third one is amurta. It is of no form at all. That is, there is no form for it is not formed at all. Murtam is something which is having a form or shape, whereas Atman doesn't have a form at all. Amurtasya atmanaha kenachit sanyoga viyoga anupapattehe. So there is no way this kind of an Atman can be free from something or be attached to something. So this is an asanga. So since it is asanga, nothing can attach to itself, attach to the Atman. Just like avidya or the body-mind complex or anything, nothing can attach to Atman, nor can Atman attach to anything else, nor can there be any way that Atman frees itself from somewhere, so from anything. So that what this shows is, even in the course of the samsara, Atman is ever unattached only. So it is not that as if Atman gets this attachment and with avidya, and through that and it is suffering samsara. No, that kind of thing cannot be accepted at any cost. That's what he is making it very clear. Siddham kshetragnasya nityameva ishwaratvam. So the kshetragna, that is the jiva atma, in every body there is a consciousness. It is forever. It is it is Brahman alone. It is even in the pendency of the samsara. It is ever Brahman alone. It is never ever the samsari. So the samsaritvam is not there for the Atman even when it is undergoing samsara, as though it is undergoing samsara. So this is the firm teaching of asamsaritvam for the Atman. Ityadi Ishvara Vachanacha. So Bhagavan himself is saying Anaditvat Nirgunatvat Paramatmayam Avyayaha. So in this 13th chapter itself there is a shloka which says that Anadi, the Atman, that is the Bhagavad Gita, is so boldly giving this shloka. Actually this shloka is uttered by the Bhagavan only, and it is about Paramatma. So Avidya Anaditvat Nirgunatvat Paramatma. So it's about Paramatma only. But Bhagavad Gita is now attributing that shloka to the Jiva. Because Bhagavad Gita doesn't have any qualms at all, because he doesn't have any fear at all, because Bhagavan himself has stated in the second shloka that Kshetragnam Chapi Mam Vidhi Sarva Kshetreshu Bhavata. So Bhagavad Gita can easily state all the shlokas which are pertaining to the Surupa of the Ishvara to the Jiva. He will not do that Sarvajnatvam, Ishwaratvam and all that for the Jiva. No, he will not do that. But this kind of Surupa Lakshanam of Brahman can definitely be legitimately be applied to the Jiva. So now moving further, Nano evam sati samsara samsaritva abhave shastra anarthakyadi doshaha syaditi se na sarvaihi abhyupagatatvad. So now another dosha which was indicated before, now that is taken up for discussion. That dosha is that if you say that the Jiva Atman in every body is non-different from Brahman, then there is no samsara at all, because nobody will accept samsara for Brahman. So there won't be samsara, and there won't be anyone who is called samsari. And when such a case is there, the Shastram, that is the Vedanta Shastram, which is there to free a person from samsara, to give knowledge about the mukta state of the samsara, of the jiva, and free him from samsara, this kind of a shastram will have no use at all. It will be redundant. So when such a case can be a defect if you accept that jiva is non-different from Brahman, because there won't be any samsara, there won't be any samsari also. So Shastra, which teaches the way to get liberation, that will be of no use at all. So that is kind of defect. That is also a defect. Nano evam sati samsara samsaritva abhave shastra anarthakya doshaha syadit chet na. That kind of defect also will not be there, because sarvaihi abhyupagatatva. Sarvaihi, by sarvaihi, what he means is all those schools or doctrines which are non-Vedantic, but which also try to teach mukti, the way for mukti, those schools also have accepted that the Shastram will pertain only to the state of samsara, but in the state of mukti, Shastram will not be there. So that is the idea, that is the crux of this discussion. Sarvaihi atmavadivihi abhyupakataha doshaha na ekena parihartavyah bhavati. So if you want to say that that is a dosha, that is the Shastra will become anarthakyam, that is, it will become redundant. If you call it a dosha, that dosha will be there for all other schools also. So when they have also accepted that you cannot implicate me to be someone who is a candidate for this dosha. So sarvaihi atmavadivihi abhyupakataha doshaha na ekena parihartavyah bhavati. So I cannot be held responsible to set right this dosha when all others have also accepted this. Katham abhyupakataha. So how have they accepted it? So that also has to be clarified. So that is giving clarification for that. Muktatmanam hi samsara samsaritva vyavahara bhavaha sarvedeva. All schools accept in unison that the person who is a mukta, he is free from samsara and he is free from samsaritva bhava. So he doesn't have samsara, and he is not also called a samsari when he is a mukta. So all schools accept this. Atmavadivihi ishyate. Sarvaireva Atmavadivihi ishyate. Nacha tesham shastra anartakyadi dosha praptihi abhipagata. But they have not accepted that this shastra anartakya as a dosha. They have also very clearly stated that this shastram will be there only during the samsara, and shastram will be redundant naturally when there is no samsara. So they have also accepted it so very well. So nacha tesham shastra anartakyadi dosha praptihi abhipagata. So they have not accepted that defect of shastra anartakya. Tata naha kshetragnanam ishwaraikatve sati shastra-anartakyam bhavatu avidya vishaye cha arthavatvam. So tata naha, that is we, that is the Vedantins, who accept that the jivas are non-different from Brahman, kshetragnana ishwaraikatve sati shastra-anartakyam bhavatu avidya vishaye cha arthavatvam. Tat yatha dvaitinam sarvesham bandhavastayam eva shastradi arthavatvam na muktavasthayam evam. So he is concluding this discussion saying that this shastram etc. will be, that is shastra means the shastram, there is the text if you want to call that, and the teacher, that is called the shastra, and the way of teaching called shiksha, and the candidate who is hearing that, who is the shishya. So all these things are accepted by all schools only in the course of samsara, but not in the course of in the state of mukti. So tata naha kshetragnanam ishwaraikatve sati. So when you cannot say that just because we Vedantins are saying that the jivas are non-different from Brahman, this dosha will come to us. That is shastra anartakyam bhavatu avidya vishaye cha arthavatvam. Then but what we have very clearly accepted is this shastram is definitely useful in the state of avidya. So avidya vishaye cha arthavatvam. If there is relevance for the shastram in the state of bondage, but definitely not in the state of moksha, because there won't be anyone as a candidate for listening to this shastram and implementing it. So in the same, just he is again bringing the other schools, non-Vedantic schools, and from Shankaracharya, all these schools which are non-Vedantic, they are all Dvaitins. So Dvaitins means they accept that Jiva is different from Ishvara, Jiva is, there are many Jivas, and then the world is real and all that. So these things are all standard specifications of the Dvaita schools. So yatha Dvaitinam sarvesham bandhavastayam eva shastradi arthavatvam na muktavasthayam. So they have also accepted that the shastra will be relevant only in the state of samsara, but not in the state of moksha. So this is how these questions are handled by the Vedantin. We will end this session here now. Narayana paro vyakta-dandam avyakta-sambhavam andasyantastu me loka saptadvipacha medini kshetragnam chapi mam vidhi sarvakshetreshu bharata kshetragnayur jnanam yatra jnanam matam mama shastram sharira mimamsa devastu parameshwaraha acharya shankaracharyaha santu me janma janma yavinaya sampannam vitaragam vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvajnam Vidhushekara Bharati. Om Tat Sat.